Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, round 6 of the World Championship. And of course, this is the first European round of the season as well. Basically we're getting going, so let's quickly get on with the drivers and the constructors standings, shall we? Because I must say that the championship has taken a bit of a turn in the last couple of weeks or so. In the last 3 races, Immortal has come out of nowhere, basically, and has taken the lead in the championship, being quite fine start as well. He has got a 24-point lead at the moment over Sam Surf Ninja, who is second then. Neat Gandish also, and Pease third and fourth. Brilliant stuff indeed from the two Alpine cars. They've been magnificent, with Van Von currently in fifth position. And we got Flippy in sixth, also on 33 points as well. And of course, Flippy very similar to Immortal, really, as he has started to get his season off to a good start as well. Seventh position is Menace on 26 points, Brabant on 22, Young Lights on 21, 16 for Troy, 10 for Boxtow, 6 for Equals, 1 for Morris, course, Cam making his 50th Grand Prix start. Stay happy 50th, and then Chazza on 1 as well. We got a lot of drivers that haven't scored so far. Of Legends, Delano. Then we got Nameless, Knowlesy, and Mumford, unfortunately. So not ideal. I think that's the most drivers that have non-scored at this stage of the season in gold for I think forever, actually, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Constructors Championship then looked like this. The Constructors Championship very finely poised, really, as I got to say that only one driver is doing most of the heavy lifting. Racing Bulls currently leading on 99 points there, with second position Alpine on 92. Great stuff indeed there for the Alpine team of Nick Candish and Pisa. 7 points away from the Racing Bulls at the moment. Kick Sauber on 75 points. Red Bull Racing 60 points away from the top three at the moment. Sorry, no, 36 points away from the top three there in fourth position. McLaren 5 points away from Red Bull. Mercedes on 28, 26 for Ferrari, 23 for Haas, 16 for Williams, and 1 for Aston Martin. Then of course, in the joint constructors, that it is McLaren with a very good lead at the moment there. I say a very good lead. It's in joint constructors terms, it's actually very slender. It is only 21 points separates the McLaren and the Williams team. And then we got Alpine on 204 points, 186 points for the Kick Sauber, 174 points for the Racing Bulls. Aston Martin on 167 points, 127 for Ferrari, 110 for Red Bull Racing, 82 for Mercedes, and 76 for the Haas team then as well. And so yes, we are in the lovely part of Italy, which I must say is actually it's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it? And of course, I think we're only going to be visiting Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, I think, a couple more times, as it has now officially been taken off of the Formula One calendar, hasn't it? Unfortunately, then. But of course, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, of course, has got a rich history in Formula One. There's also been some triumph and tragedy around this circuit as well. Of course, the '94 race will be ever etched into the to F1 fans alike then, isn't it? Keza's got the lap record then, which was actually set last year as well, so good stuff indeed there for Keza. 1:15.338 then on this 19 turn course then as well. Only one DRS zone around here as well then, so fighting down to turn 1 is good. Well, it's turn 2 really. It's going to be absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. But as we've got a driver out on intermediate tyres, cracking stuff indeed, but we'll ignore that driver because you shouldn't be on intermediate tyres on a dry track. Here comes Troy out of the final turn. That was actually turn 18. There's the final turn now, and then on we go then, of course. We was talking about this at the end of the program last week in gold. Of course, it's going to be very difficult to overtake around here. So qualifying is going to be very important on this circuit. Then 18 minutes, and to set a qualifying time then, and to get yourself as high up the grid as possible. Troy there drifting it out of the Villeneuve chicane now. Of course, named after the legendary Ferrari driver, the legendary famous 27 Ferrari of Gilles Villeneuve, of course. One driver that potentially could have won the 1982 season. Of course, we talk about the 94 season being a horrific season. Of course, F1 back in 1982 was also quite a tragedy of a season as well. But Troy there coming up to the top of the hill now. Then, of course, as we mentioned, we've got to make the most of this circuit. And of course, we may not be seeing this on the calendar in the next couple of times or two, but we might be seeing it next year. Then it depends on the calendar for next year. But I think after that, then in 2026, sadly, I don't think it will be on the calendar, which is such a shame. Then out of the final two turns, and coming up to the line now. Then for Troy coming across the line of a 15.214 at the moment. And hello to everyone that is just joined us. Great to have you along for the show, which I must say then that a lot of you will probably be torn about where to watch the Lionesses then, who are in action at the moment. As it is Spain against England, which is in the final, I think it's in the second half of extra time then, which I'm very interested in as well. So if I start to go, yes, you will know why. Nameless goes second fast at the moment. Then Nameless, of course, one of 4 drivers have not scored so far this season. Cam making his 50th Grand Prix start tonight, so happy 50th to Cam. Lightsen, who was not feeling too happy earlier on in the day, was he, in terms of pace there. Equal's taking too much of the grass there on the outside of Tamburello there, so that's not ideal then. But thrown it in to throwing it in then to the chicane as well then. As we mentioned, of course, it's going to be very difficult in terms of overtaking on here as Brabant's gone fast on a 14.5, and that's quite a gap then between Brabant and Troy here at this stage there. The track is going to get quicker and quicker. It is used quite a bit then, the track is, isn't it, here in Emilia. Of course, we've had the Ferrari Challenge out there. We, of course, we have the Porsche Super Cup as well as Formula 3 and Formula 2 races around here as well, of course. And so this is a very busy circuit, and so track evolution may not be the highest as we see this season, then potentially compared to the likes of Miami, for example. But still, you've got to be up there at the challenging then. A couple of reserves in here tonight. Of course, we got Sweet Crown then, formerly known as Wouter, and also we've got Kiki in here as well for the RB as well. Equals goes 4 fastest at the moment. Morris currently in 5th, made that 6th because of Mortal, the championship leader, after 3 race wins in a row. Then on absolute fine Vettel at the moment in the Racing Bull. Really good stuff indeed there. But as having said that, then Flippy has gone faster by just under a tenth of a second in that McLaren Mercedes then. Flipping the Mortal, currently they're going head to head for pole position then for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Then boxed out on circuit, we've got Legends who wants to score a point as well tonight. Sweet Crown then just starting his lap. Right, Cam, who's just on an in-lap by the looks of things. Here comes Kiki, who'll be dropping down the hill now. We'll be dropping down the hill now as well. As you can see, we're on board now with Kiki. So, of course, Kiki replacing someone. I haven't got me spreadsheets up at the moment, so I can't remember who it is. But shocking stuff. I should probably know the drivers off by heart, but there we go. It goes 5th fastest Kiki does, and Kiki normally a silver driver. I think was a very late replacement, as we had a very late dropout, probably because they were watching the Women's Euros. Who's that? Kaz Van Von has gone up into 4th fast at the moment there. Legends coming up to the line as well. Legends there, of course, as I mentioned, one of 4 drivers that have not scored yet. It goes 6th fastest Legends does, and the kick Sauber, his triple world champion teammate, has not emerged out of the garage just yet then. We'll keep an eye on that. Then is Boxtel goes into a very impressive 2nd fastest. Goodness me, Sweet Chrome there. Back end very floaty up to the line as well, and cross the line there goes Sweet Crown, going at 6th fastest in the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed there for Sweet Crown, who I think will probably next in line for one of the full-time seats then. Goes Nick Candish, who's been in rich fine Vettel in the last few weeks as well, then coming into the final for 2 corners as well. Then of course I love to live in one of those houses up there. Of course, it's a beautiful part of the world here in the Emilia Romagna. Of course, one of only, apart from America, I think it's one of only 2 races here, as Nick Candish goes fastest there by 1/4 of a second there. That's a mega lap for Nick Candish. Incredible stuff. Alpine on a rich run of form at the moment. They really are indeed there. Sam Swift Ninja, triple world champion. There's going to be a lot riding on Sam Swift Ninja here this weekend then, is there? Because goodness gracious me, I don't think he's been on the podium in the last couple of races, and goodness gracious me, this is a major drought for the triple world champion. But Sam Swift Ninja, that is not good at all, is it? From Sam Swift Ninja's point of view, and goodness me, after the opening 2 races, we did think that potentially it was going to be dominated for Sam Swift Ninja again for making the 4th season in a row and become a quadruple world champion. However, Mortal's come out of the box absolutely swinging in the last few races or so. It's been impressive stuff indeed. Then Nick Candish, another driver that has been absolutely in fine form as well. Then Sam Swift Ninja then a bad start, is up to score on board with the triple world champion, and Sam Swift Ninja currently kicks Sauber. Also needs Legends to start scoring as well then if they want to have any hope of the Constructors Championship, because Pease at the moment, who's also emerged out of the garage, has been in Pease and Nick Candish have been the team revelation of the season so far. However, as someone scampered off at the first chicane now, who is that? I'm feeling that was one of the Racing Bulls there, unfortunately having a bit of a adventure out of the Villeneuve chicane as well. Look at the amount of commitment that Sam Swift Ninja is throwing the kick Sauber around. Fantastic stuff indeed. Oh, I'm loving that. And now coming powering up the hill as well then for Sam Swift Ninja. So we are focusing on the Triple World Champion, which I would say is the biggest crisis that Sam Swift Ninja has had in his career of Grand Prix racing. don't think so, to be fair. And I must say, though, Sam Swift Ninja has got a lot of work to do. I think that in the last 2 years, especially, the last 2 seasons especially, he has had a lot of his Grand Prix career in of his own way, hasn't he? Really hasn't had much in terms of. He's had a couple of challenges here and there, but not consistently, has he? So maybe it is a mini crisis for Kicks out with the Constructors Champions and Sam Swift Ninja. Just like I say that, he has passed this there by half a tenth of a second there, and that is pole position. Of course, he got pole position in the opening 2 races as well. And look at this, and of course, this is quite a short circuit then, isn't it? So we are going to be expecting a lot of drivers that they'll be tripping over each other. P's taking too much curb there, and unfortunately that's a track invalidation. On board with Cam now in the Aston Martin, currently on his 50th Grand Prix start tonight. Morris is out on circuit as well. He's done the 17.6 there. To be honest, this is definitely a confidence circuit as well. You have to ride the curbs, don't you? But you cannot take too much of the curbs there, as Cam did there, and that really unsettled the car, unfortunately, for Cam. And see now, oh gosh, there, and who is that? That's one of the Mercedes in the way. And oh dear, and who was that? I think it's one of the Mercedes. Who is that? I think it was Boxtow. And Cam that's 2 runs now for Cam, and he is going to be absolutely furious with that, surely. And that's not ideal at all. Knowles at the top of the hill then as he's attacking the chicanes. And this circuit has a lot of chicanes in it. I must admit, I've been racing F1 Challenge lately, and it's let's just say I was racing the 92 format, the 92 layout, and there wasn't as many chicanes in that one. Knowlesy out of the final turn, then coming up to the line as well. All he's got to do now is ease it. Get the shortest run to the line, goes 15 fastest, does Knowlesy. Here comes Morris. He's found half a second up, but goodness gracious me, I thought he was going to go into the scene of the accident there for Morrison, who's had a very difficult start to the season and in the Haas car. We have been saying, or I've certainly been saying, is that Van Votten has gone fastest by a tenth of a second there from Sam Swift Ninja. It's starting to all hit the fan now, isn't it? Oh, is that Morris off the circuit, unfortunately? And that is disappointing then. Chazza then, as we're just watching Chazza, PZ on another lap. Brabbitt's gone fastest now in the other Haas car. His teammate unfortunately having a couple of issues there, but Brabbitt is now fastest with Van Votten currently second, 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Sam Swift Ninja for Morris is furious, and I'm not sure if he's had issues there. P's also off the circuit as well. This is a very narrow circuit, especially for how chunky these F1 cars are these days. So I've got to say, it's going to be very much like follow the leader, really. It's going to be all about strategical calls here and making sure you do not fall off the road. Then yellow flag then as some of the cars just getting out of the way. So Van Votten leads. Brabbitt leads with Van Votten second. Swift Ninja in third position. This is now out on circuit in the second Alpine car. Teammate Pease then, who had a very good race in as Nick Candish has now gone fastest by 0.2 of a second, and these times are dropping like a fruit machine out there. They're tumbling like a fruit machine, I should say. Then as Pete needs to scrub up that Alpine car because it's a very he's lost the whole front wing now. Oh my word, that's not good, is it? There for Pizzo, he's doing a bit of rallycross. Immortal's gone second fastest there. Immortal, who has been Immortal in qualifying and in gold over the past couple of seasons, especially. But at the moment, it's Lee Catnish on pole position there as he scampers off the circuit. Brabbitt is third, and we now got a lot of drivers out there just coming into the pits. Menace, who's had a very difficult start to this season. Menace, the only full-time Ferrari driver in tonight, then, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on Menace there. And unfortunately for Menace, not many points have been scored for himself. Menace, a long way behind in the World Championship there for Menace, who finished third in the championship in the last 2 seasons. So I think now from Menace's point of view, I think it's been a very disappointing start and hasn't there for Menace. But he's gone purple in the second sector by the looks of things there. And goodness me, taking liberties with the chicane there, but very nicely done indeed there for the Ferrari driver. Morris is going to start last on the grid, unfortunately, after issues in the Haas car. The other Haas of Brabbitt then, who we've been saying that the Haas has not been handling very well. Morris seems to still be having troubles out there. Brabbitt is currently third then. Immortal is in second position there. Across the line goes Menace, and that is fifth position on the same row as Sam Swift Ninja there. for Menace, and that is a major statement of intent there from Menace. Quite invalidated, so we're going to stick with Cam then. This first time's a charm for Cam, who's had issues on all of his runs so far. As just now coming up the hill as well. Then, and now then, let's see what Cam can do then, as he's now going over the chicane and second intermediate split time of 50.066. Not running too wide. I've got a cough. Not running too wide then, with 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Goodness gracious me, there's going to be a lot of dirty cars at the end of this one. Out of the final turn then for Cam then, and Cam is in the pits again. It's a horror show for Cam. He's going to be 19th on the grid, and he's out of qualifying. This is an important qualifying session. You do not want to be near the back of the field then. Sam Swift Ninja out on circuit. Flippy's just come out of the pit lane. Boxed out, great finish there with Lights, who was saying was struggling, but all of a sudden has found some pace there. England and Spain are on penalties as well. And so I'm going to have a gander and see what's going on there, because the penalties wasn't the finest last time I was watching England go for penalties there, but so we've got Boxtel just starting on his lap now, as it powering down there to turn 2 and 3, really, isn't it? That run down into turn 1 is going to be crucial. Remember that Verstappen potentially has done the overtake of the year after his challenge on Oscar Piastri in of course when F1 was visiting the circuit earlier on the season. There, yellow flags then, do not worry about that then, as this is into toes as well then, before powering up the hill, powering about just under 2/10 of a second in the first split time. That's quite a lot of time, man. Goodness gracious me, and flying through and now up to over the brow of the hill, then swings it in there. Goodness gracious me, and that's fantastic. There's gravel on the outside now, because of course to catch anyone that tries to extend tracks then, which of course is not ideal, you lose a lot of time with that gravel lurking on the outside then. Now at the top of the hill as well then, a kiss and a swing and all that kind of stuff is what Martin Brunner I think was saying in Spa earlier on then. And I don't even want to get into Spa at the moment, because let's just say the delay really irks me a bit. Boxtel into the final two turns as well, accelerating away. And now coming to the line, Boxtel's going to be the first driver on his final lap. And across the line, now Boxtel goes 7th fastest. He's found 2 and a bit tenths. And the Sam Swift Ninja on pole position and for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there for Sam Swift Ninja. He is back, isn't he, Sam Swift Ninjas? Or has he never left then? But he is back out in the facility for the pole position shootout. Flippy's off. Oh no, the McLaren driver has had an issue there. Oh, Lights is back in. He's trying to overtake the front, then going a bit wide, going down into the final part of the circuit as well then, as I'm trying to find my spreadsheet here. And now then here comes Lights, and he's got a lovely bit of slipstream there, but the understeer he's going to have Van Von's out of qualifying. That's a shock. Now Pease is going to start his final run there, I think that was, and then Lights goes 6th fastest there. Van Von is not going to finish his time, unfortunately. Brabbit on his final run. Immortal 600 a second up in the first second time. And Nee Candice now starting his lap. Sorry, he's just sitting Nee Candice. Let's go on board with Immortal. Yellow flag out there. Flippy has got one more run then. Has he got enough time in the piggy bank? Well, he hasn't got enough time, but has he got enough fuel then? Here comes Immortal. 3/10 of a second up. That's enough for pole position at the moment, then accelerates away. Coming down the hill then, as Ferrari crossing the line now for that sweet crown. The McLaren has crossed the line as well. There's a Kick Sauber just in front of us of Legends there, and Legends is in the pits. How was that Sam Swift Ninja? Out of the final turn then for Immortal. Immortal's been on pole position twice this season. Is he going to make it a hat trick? Yes, he's on pole position then for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. Then Sam Swift Ninja is second, and Nee Candice at the top of the hill, but he's invalidated. Also, he was down anyway. Bravitt coming into the final few turns as well. We got Kiki coming across the lines, takes 11th position. Troy is in 11th position, I should say then. Troy is in 10th position. Bravitt coming up to the line then. Bravitt across the line. Bravitt's on the second row of the grid. It's still the 2 championship rivals head on the front row of the grid. Nee Candice has abandoned his time and coming into the pits there. What about Pease? Pease is under pressure because Pease has not set any times out. He's not set another time. Equals across the line. Equals goes 14 fastest there. Sweet Crown across the line. Sweet Crown jumps up to 8th. Magnificent stuff indeed. Menace still out there. Menace is still out there. 7th position more then. Nameless goes up to 11th position there. What about Flippy? Flippy is 2/10 a second up in the second split time. And in the fast, he's run wide, but somehow he's got away with it. I thought that would have been track extension. Then Menace goes 5th fastest. Flippy He goes into 6th position now. Young Reds goes across the line, stays 8th fastest there. Pole position, number 3 of the season there for Immortal. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Immortal pole position, number 3 of the season, is 2nd in a row. In terms of his career tally, that is Immortal's 25th. Quarter of a century, 25th pole position of his career. And the man is just so formidable in qualifying. It is absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. Immortal pole position by less than a tenth of a second. How close was that? That's incredible stuff indeed there. Really well done indeed there for Immortal. Samswift Ninja is on the front row of the grid then. Samswift Ninja has returned for vengeance, has he? Potentially. And then Brabbit in third with Neat Candish fourth, Menace fifth, Flippy in 6th position with Van Von 7th, Lightsafe, Boxdown 9th, and Sweet Crown in 10th position. And the gaps then to the drivers, I think we can't really count Morris, because I don't think he got a good lap in, but a second and a quarter, second and 4/10 of a second separates the whole of the field. That is how close this one is going to be again then. And I think that's how close gold is, the gold grid is as well, isn't it? Now, goodness gracious me. They can see that, and there's beautiful sunshine here in the Emilia Romagna region. And of course, used to be known as the San Marino Grand Prix. If anyone's as old as me, I certainly am quite old. Oh dear, I think Spain have just missed a penalty there. Just take a look at it. At the moment, it's 2-1 for penalties. It's such a shame that the BBC thing doesn't actually let me watch two things at once. So that's a shame, isn't it? But yes, as we're just waiting for the drivers to get themselves ready, lined up on the grid now, and then we'll go for the formation lap then before going for the Grand Prix itself. I think it's 32 laps around this circuit. I am expecting safety cars because this circuit is quite old school. It's been on the well, of course, it's been on and off the calendar over the years, hasn't it? But I must say then that whoops, I've knocked my head there. It's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix indeed. But yes, what irked me about the Belgian Grand Prix on is that we waited an hour long, didn't we? Goodness me. I know you got to. I know that safety's paramount and all that kind of stuff, but I felt that we could have probably got running in the first 10 minutes and then had another go. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with the show of Grand Prix, shall we? Immortal pole position, 25th of his career. Alongside him is Samswift Ninja. Samswift Ninja is on the medium tyres. Samswift Ninja on the hard tyres. Medium tyres for the majority of the top 10. Brabbit in third position with Neat Candish in fourth. Fifth position is Menace with Flippy in sixth. Seventh position is the second hard shot car of Van Von then with Lights in eighth position. Ninth position is Boxstar. Both Mercedes doing a good job there. And the second Ferrari on the Sweet Crown then, of course, subbing in for Delano tonight in 10th position, also on hard tyres. 11th position is Nameless, with 12th position is Troy. Kiki in 13th, and of course super subbing in tonight for Mumford. One of four drivers haven't scored yet. Equals in 14th position. 15th is Knowlesy with Legends in 16th, Chaz in 17th, Morris in 18th, Cam in 19th, and Pease had a horror show down in 20th position. He had a difficult qualifying in Miami, didn't he? But the only difference, but of course, Pease did recover quite nicely. The Alpines didn't really help each other, did they, in terms of England have won. In terms of helping each other with team orders and stuff, but I think England have won that fantastic stuff indeed. Right, let me find the stream now. Great stuff indeed. But as they all line up on the grid now, as they prepare themselves to start. Hello, Sean. Hello, racers. Good luck there, Cavalry Racing with 10 euros. Thank you very much. There, it's too close. I am 0.3 off. Get in, says Serious Russia. I wish it rained in the race. It's going to be a tough race there, says Light said. We've got go on England, says Serious Russia there. Good stuff indeed. Sean has a cough excuse for Wednesday starting early. Absolutely. I want to go after the shambles of last Wednesday. I think I might have to pull a sickie then. How many drivers have finished with penalty, says Stephen. Quite a lot then. Sean's ignoring us. I was actually watching the Euros, so I could watch both. Good stuff indeed then. Right, that is a penalty fest then, says Knowlesy. He loves a penalty fest then. Nosy says that as we all line up on the grid now, preparing ourselves for a stop. A one stop is possible, says Goku. Lights on, lights off, action here in Emilia Romagna then. As of course you're going to take your chances down into turn 1, but of course it's looking at it, it's a Immortal then cuts across Samsung Ninja as we go into turn 1 there. And of course the breaking into turn 1, is everyone made it through safely? No, there's a car off the circuit, it's one of the Williams cars. Was that Troy? I think that was Troy off the circuit there. Samsung Ninja in second, Brad in third position, Flippy's on one position in the fourth there. With Menace, there's a Mercedes on the inside of Lights and trying to go up the inside. Van Bond's off the circuit and he's got dirty tyres and they both bang wheels of Sweet and Van Bond. Van Bond's on a terrible start for the Red Bull car. Nameless up into 10 positions as well then. Boxhouse into 10 positions. They go wheel to wheel then. There's Equals also up 2 positions. Morris up 3 positions. Pease is up 4 positions. He's flying through the field. Fantastic. Whoa, the Haas almost up the circuit there. And Morrison almost collecting Pease on the outside. And Pease is now at 5 positions there. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. There's me thinking that potentially that it was going to be a difficult start for Pease, but difficult race for Pease, but he's already at 5 positions there. Mortal leads Swift Ninja in second position, but Brabbit is currently the driver who is putting the world champion under pressure at the moment. Then we got Neat Candice followed by Flippy Menace, then we got Lights followed by Sweet Crown. Van Vom down 2 positions, then Boxdown down 1 position as well. As Chazza, as something's gone wrong, Nosey's dropped down to the back of the field, unfortunately. Lap 1 complete. Look at the gap there, 3/10 of a second. DRS will now be enabled at the end of this lap then. This is going to get very fine, very feisty indeed then. Oh, goodness me. Goodness gracious me. Then look at Sam Swift Ninja there. He's going to be very much pushing Immortal as hard as he can. Then Immortal is won in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Miami. The last 3 races straight then. Sam Swift Ninja has finished fourth, and then only got a point last time out in Miami there for Sam Swift Ninja there. So Sam Swift Ninja, it looks like he's back on the pace now, but he's got a 24-point disadvantage to his rival of Immortal. As Pease on the inside there, as Lights. Legend has been forced off the circuit there. Maybe he shouldn't have kept his car out there potentially, or was Pease a bit too? Or should have Pease been a bit more gentlemanly like there? Well, answered on a postcard, everyone. As Immortal is not out of DRS range, though. Of course, we just heard Goku say that it will be a potential 1-stop in Miami. It was very close between a 1 and 2 stop last week, wasn't there? Very close indeed there. It was very entertaining stuff, but I'm wondering if a 1-stop is the way to go, just because of how long this pit lane is. There's one of the longest pit lanes in terms of getting that down on the pit lane limiter, and of course, and here comes Samsung Ninja as a harvested, and Samsung Ninja takes the lead of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, looking for his first Grand Prix win since Japan round 2, but Samsung Ninja leads. Immortal is now down the second position. Brabbit is now all of the gearbox of the white racing ball in third position there. Fourth is Nee Candice there, who possibly be a bit disappointed to be starting in fourth position there, but he is certainly in it to win it. Now, good move by Pease, says Serious Mushroom, as Pease is now up in the 13th position, getting past Troy. Pease is loving life this season. It's great to see the old Pease back in action. We haven't seen this version of Pease in a very long time, have we? It's great to see. Flippy in 5th, 6 is Menace at the moment there, with Light 7th, Sweet Crown 8th, Van Bottom in 9th position, 10th position is Boxstyle. Top 10, of course, scores points then. Of course, we still get the point for fastest lap as well then. As a hop, skip and a jump then. It's now then Can Samsung Ninja, who's on the hard tyres as well. So that is surely going to strike fear into his rivals here tonight. Very quick on the opening stage of this Grand Prix on the hard tyres. So the harder tyre, the better race tyre. Chaz is on the hard tyre as well, along with Kiki, along with Van Von, and of course Sweet Crown then. So we've got a couple of drivers to compare as going down into turn 1, having a sniff there, but no dice set. And look at how much they all condense up. Then Lights has lost out then because Sweet Crown going on the outside, also on the hard tyres, and Pease is now through and up in the 12th position. Pease couldn't get a run in qualifying, similar to Cam, but Pease has put that qualifying disappointment to one side so quickly and is now in a 12th position there, flying through the field like a hot knife through butter in the Alpine car. The next target is Nameless in 11th position there in the Aston Martin. Back at the front then, of course, as you can see, we've got a proper DRS train all the way down into 14th position there. Troy, who is not in DRS at the moment there, as they've all dropped out then. So Sam Swift Ninja leads that. Immortal is very much going to be following his coattails here then. And the question is, when are we going to start to think about pit stops then in this race then? Potentially around lap 10 to lap 15 then on the medium tyres. Maybe it might have to come in early, because we know that tyre wear on this game has been quite extreme so far. I found out the hard way in Saudi Arabia last week there. Sam is really quick on the straight, says Definite Duke then. And definitely indeed then the Sam Swift there looking a bit floaty, the rear is there. But I got to say, I think Immortal's going to be thinking more about defence and attack here, because here comes Brabham then on board with the former Silver World Champion. Oh, just like I said, Immortal has absolutely flown through and taken the lead. I am absolutely wrong. I've never been so wrong. Well, I have. Cam is now lost out. The DRS has now been... Sweet Crown is gone out, DRS, and Morris is through, passes Troy. Troy is dropping down there, and Troy is having major issues there in the Williams car, and he's now lost out. He's down into 15th position, is Troy. That's a horror show for the Williams team. Oh my word, then is that now going back into the front part of the circuit, and Sam is quick everywhere, says Serious Russia. Sam Swift Ninja, I must admit, I thought Immortal was going to be sitting duck there to Brabham, but how wrong was I? But look at this, now Immortal is harvesting. You can see that the rain light is flashing on that on that racing ball. As that racing ball is looking very floaty there, not ideal at all there for the racing ball. And I think that Sam Swift Ninja is going to be grinning from ear to ear like a Cheshire cat there, because he can see that Immortal is struggling for grip already in this race. My goodness me. And so I think that Immortal may be in a bit of peril here as well. As we're on board there. Look at that rear rain light there. That is not harvesting there, is it? There. Look at Immortal. Immortal's harvested, and I think Brabham is harvesting as well. But Kick Sauber's Sam Swift Ninja is not harvested. And here he comes again. And here comes Sam Swift Ninja, going to retake the lead here in the Emilia. He's alongside. He takes the lead. Gets back in front of his championship rival then. The two rivals then, I think this is the first time this season we've seen the two rivals go head to head. The two Mercedes are swapped position. Boxtel is now in front of his team, and then going side by side, wheel to wheel. That's Nameless, and Pease are going side by side in the Tamburello chicane. Run, rabbit, run, 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 says as much as mediums will be dead on lap 7 camera racer there. So I thought that the pit window will open on lap 10ish, but that is absolute waffle. Camera reckons that around lap 7 the medium time's going to fall off there. And we got a great battle then between Morris, and I think that was Kiki and also Troy now down in another position. Troy is falling like a stone here. He's now down in 16th position. There's a problem for that Williams car, surely. Troy, a former Grand Prix, I think he's like second or third in the. I think he's now third in the all-time winning stakes, isn't it, in Grand Prix racing? But not ideal at all, unfortunately, for Troy. Menace is now out of DRS, and that's going to be happy for Sweet Crown here. Sweet Crown is now catched up to the back of his teammate. We're going to go back to the front though, because it's yo-yoing around, but now it's 7/10 of a second gap there. Immortal's had a bit of a difficult lap there, and I reckon Camera Racer might be on the money there. As into the pits there, so Menace is the first driver to pit after only 6 laps on those medium compound tyres. Here comes Immortal then, just too far back about then, as we got the two cars were going to be fighting hand swap positions, as we just said, boxed out and light swapping positions. As once again, Pease out. Oh my goodness me, Pease and Nameless are side by side. My goodness gracious me, Pease all over the Aston Martin like a bad suit. But Nameless there just about keeping Pease at bay, and Pease has been an incredible opening laps here in this one. As he has flown through the field. He's now to 11th position, is Pease. My goodness gracious me, and powering up the hill as well. So Menace is out. He's got a 14-second gap between himself. Not out. He's out of the pits, I should say. Menace is out. Troy's lost out again there. Troy is limping, and he's letting cars through there. There's something wrong with that Williams car. Both Williams is down in 17th and 18th position there. So Menace has now got a 13-second deficit between himself and Cam. So now he can start to put in some tidy laps. So not too hot though, because he doesn't want to ruin those tyres right from the get-go. If the tyres are on the surface only, they'll last longer. Maybe it just needs to change it until they get it sorted. Then says Serious Russia. I quite like the tyre wear being this hard, to be honest, because it makes the race more interesting. Miami was cracking. Maybe not for me though, because that's the reason why I'm tired in Saudi Arabia. As here comes Peace! Oh my goodness gracious me! And then Peace is now through. That he gets squeezed by Nameless, but Peace is having none of that. He forces his way through. And now up into 10th position there for Pease, and he's had 2 attempts there, and now Pease is now up into 10th position there. Whoa, my goodness me! And oh, there's a Red Bull off in the background. That's Equals off him, and spreading dirt all over the circuit there. Shocking stuff, and it's a Tifosi will not be too pleased there if Equals. Nosey has lost out there to Cam, who's now up into 18th position there. No, mediums are good for 14 laps then. They only have... Oh, excuse me. They only have 50, but they are not drivable anymore. Yes, you can drive it, but you will be very slow, says Camera Racer. So Camera Racer is talking in terms of performance. 3-second penalty. Our first penalty is coming in, and we have heard in the opening stages of this broadcast that we was going to get a lot of penalties on this one. It was penalty fest, wasn't it? Sam Swift Ninja's now a second in front of Immortal. So Immortal's out of DRS. Is Immortal going to come in the pits? No, he stays out. The top 6 have stayed out there. And Sweet Crown, they're using those hard tyres to its absolute advantage. Into the pits. Who is that? That was one of the Mercedes cars. Boxed out. No, lights into the pits. Here comes, here's Pizzo. And Boxed out is going to be getting a sinking feeling here. Where's the LP? On the outside. He's on the grass. Swoops through nonetheless. What a manoeuvre for Pizzo. Absolutely committed tonight as Pease. What a race. He's come through the field like a hot knife through butter. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Absolutely fantastic. OJM would say one stop is still significantly better. It is just because of how long the pit lane is here. On board with Peace's teammate now is that Troy has lost out again. Troy has got some issues, that there's yellow flags there in Troy's facility as what has happened there for Troy. There's something majorly wrong there. Has he got any damage? You can't see any damage in that Williams, but Troy is struggling out there. Menace is now only 6 seconds back, and Menace, of course, has already pitted. That's why he's far down the order in 19th position at this moment in time. Oh, rain's going to stop in a few hours. Fantastic. Pease is flying. He absolutely is. I wonder if Immortal might come in the pits now. It's coming out of the final corner. No, Immortal stayed out here. So yes, no one else came in the pits apart from Menace and Light so far. And so everyone else has stayed out. Pease is already driving the day. Says Anthony. Van Bon is it's Brabant's through, and Van Bon has got a 10-second penalty. Unfortunately, yellow flag. What's happened there? There's a problem. Troy's crawling there. Troy's in problems. And Knowlesy's got past as well as the Red Bull mechanics are scampering away. Troy out of the Grand Prix. So there is some technical gremlins for Troy, but he just couldn't sort it out then. He was falling down the order. Troy out of the Grand Prix. Van Von and Morris come out of the pits now. And Troy is probably not a happy chap about the struggles that he's had here tonight in Emilia Romagna, unfortunately. As Morrison, who's just coming out of the pits now in 19th position there. Lights is out 2 seconds away there. Sweet Crown has got a 3-second penalty. That's going to be costly for Sweet Crown, who is going to be a major factor in this one, isn't he? With that 3-second penalty, will be added on to the end of the race, on the end of his race time. Van Von, if he pits again, he will have to serve that 10-second penalty. The pit crew cannot touch the car. And then of course, so if he doesn't pit, then he will, of course will have to then get that second penalty added on to the end of the race. The Candice is the next one. Immortal struggling out here, isn't he? Of course, Immortal has been in such dominating fashion in the last 3 Grand Prix. But having said that, he's going to sweep back past Brabbit. Brabbit had no DRS set from Sam Swift Ninja. He's now got a 1.5 second advantage, whilst the drivers behind him are just squabbling here at the moment. No, Troy, says Serious Rush. There's Troy out of the Grand Prix, sadly. So it's a bit of a difficult start to the season for Troy. In 5 Grand Prix starts, he's only amassed 16 points. However, he did score those 16 points in the opening 3 races, but there's that lights at the pass after the race. But of course, so since then, he's had no points since the Bahrain Grand Prix has Troy. So not good at all then for the former world champion. Dear oh dear. Right, where are we? So Knowles here is now all over the back of Legends. Legends, who's got a 3-second penalty already for his job. So Legends looking a bit floaty there. No, Knowlesy says, how long will the hearts last? Says Stephen. Stephen Anthony. If that question's aimed at me, I do not know. Maybe I should have done me homework. potentially. I think though that they probably could last quite a long time, can't they? That's me hazarded a huge guess. So I just feel that the Hearts may last like 18 to 20 laps, says Serious Buster. Into the pits comes Nick Candish. So Nick Candish is the first of that gaggle of 6, which is now the gaggle of 5, to come in the pits then. So then, where is Nick Candish going to come out then? So the Alpine team, as Pete's now got a lovely bit of empty track then, which he hasn't seen so far this race because he has been fighting tooth and nail. Nameless is lost out to Kiki now. Kiki now up into 7th position. Nameless down to 8. And there's Aquels also coming on the facility as well in 9th position. Van Von is at the bad side of the race there. I wonder if Van Von's going to be a bit frustrated there. So where's Nick Candish? That's a lovely bit of track that Nick Candish has found. Then he's going to be behind Van Von, but he's on the hard tyres, whilst Van Von is on the medium. So that is going to be 2 stopper for Van Von, as I probably should have pointed that out earlier on. The Goku 20 laps as well, as we're just so that is the as Cam, oh no, and Cam is it's run wide out of the Villeneuve chicane, and it's lost umpteen positions there, Cam, as Legend is under major peril because here comes Menace. He's going this way and that way on the inside. My goodness me, he's found a villain. There's contact between the 2 cars, and then Menace is through. That's a very dangerous manoeuvre there from Menace, but he had to get it done pronto because of course he is under because of course he's under the caution. He wants to use these tyres when they're at their best and to really make hay then. Into the pits. There comes 3 drivers. There's a Mortal, Brabant, and Flippy all into the pits as well. Facility, I don't know. Sadly, I do not have the very. Was it the quash? No, not the quash, is it? Let's just say the English language is not my first language. What is your first language then, Sean? Sarcasm and BS. Goodness me, I'm allowed to say that. Van Von up into 9th position. Goodness gracious me then, look at this, and it's going to be traffic like a Monday morning. As coming into the first chicane now, as I reckon that Cam's tyres have probably had its day then. Nolsey has lost out then, up into the Villeneuve chicane of Neat Candice. Neat Candice down to 11th position. Can he get past Legends into Tozer? No, because Legends has the fender. He's going to go on the outside. Yes! Wow! Incredible stuff there. As Legend has done something that Schumacher didn't do in the 2004 San Marino Grand Prix. Of course, he ran Montoya out wide, didn't he, on the opening stage of that race. However, whether he's entitled to or not is a different story. But of course, all I remember about the 2004 season with Williams is that horrible walrus nose, of course, which was apparently meant to. What was it meant to do? I think it was meant to direct the airflow, wasn't it? A bit more under the car or something. But let's just say Williams ditched that halfway through the season. And Mortal's now lost. Mortal's now through. Passes Nosey into the pits. Comes P's contact. And Mortal's then going into the back of Legends there. Hoping there isn't any damage between the 2 cars. As there's more damage, there's more debris flicking off there. There's Aston Martin in the pits. A Mortal now steamed through, but look at how much time he's lost there. There's so much going on. Chaz has lost down into 4th position. He's now got a Haas car going past Legend. Williams also sweeping through as well. Nosey up the inside. What a manoeuvre. Nosey down in 9th position. Brabant up into 9th position as well. Nope, nope, I do not know where they are. Chaz are down into 6th now. Van Von is up in the 5th position on the medium tires, so Van Von does have a 10-second penalty. Flippy's past Legend as well. There's the McLaren of Chaza, who I'm not sure if he was trying to get out of the hot air from the back of the car there, or if he just got a bit unstable. Flippy's has got past Knowlesy as well. Farsadinish says Serious Bush. Don't tell anyone where are you? Where are Resident? No. Oh, sure. His Sunday, isn't it? Where are you? Where my abode is, and that would do, wasn't it? As oh goodness me, is Lights is trying to go this way and that way, but Knowlesy is not going to wave him through here, is he? There, because Knowlesy's got his own race to run. P's got a 3-second penalty. Here comes Lights. So Lights there, almost onto the grass. That's what I told you in qualifying about how narrow these races, narrow this circle is at the inside. Lights is through. And here's Nick Candish has got past Chaz. So the hard tyres, we think, as Immortal set the fastest up for the race there. Into the pits comes Knowlesy. He's had enough of those tyres there. Menace has lost out to Van Von. Van Von is now into 4th position. Van Von is now into 4th position. Menace in 5th. Nick Candish is in the background in 6th position at the moment. Good gracious me. Heavens above, gentlemen. Sweet Crown then, second position with Kiki in third. Both drivers are yet to stop. You'll see Kiki, there he is, just in the facility. Van Von is currently about a second back with Menace, followed by Neat Candice. Chancer in seventh position, Immortal in eighth, and Brabbit in ninth position. This is the problem though about pitting early. But Knowles here showing off now. Knowles is showing it is a beautiful car control there. Goodness me, somehow he didn't damage the car, and he kept it in play as well. Incredible stuff there. Nosing on the fresh harder tyres, but the whites coming in later, and while other drivers are coming in later as well because they want to make it to the end of the race with fresher tyres. And of course, as much as I've been saying, it's been very difficult to overtake. The blast down into the Tamburello chicane is quite overpowered, the DRS around here, isn't it? Because you've got like a bit of a barn door on the back of the car, which is why DRS are so powerful. I would hazard a guess then, I'm no aerodynamicist. Across the line there goes across the line goes Van Von. And here comes Usak there. That's Menace through. Menace is through. And good to see you. They got Van Von might have to look over his shoulder here. Oh my gosh. So Menace coming in the pits a lot earlier than anyone else. That's what's brought him into play. But now he's going to have an issue with the tyre life there. He's done an extra 5 laps on those tyres. And I'm wondering if the medium tyres of Van Von is starting to go off because he cannot shake the 2 drivers behind him of Menace and Neat Candice. There he is. Lovely shot here. Oh, lovely something. I might screenshot that and put that on my fridge. As the 2 McLarens are just swapped position there. Filippi is now in 9th position there. So Immortal is currently in 7th. He's got Kiki right in front of him. I wonder if Kiki may play the game, may play a bit of the teammate game here. Look at the gap though; it's almost 2 seconds between Immortal and Neat Candice there. So Immortal has lost out a bit of time here, albeit he's got a lap younger, and so is Brabbit, and so is Flippy as well. So it could be crucial this race there to determine how many laps you're going to put on those hard tyres there. Potentially similar to Belgium earlier on today there, where some drivers had to look after their medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. And who's that? Kiki is oh goodness me, visiting the scenery there. Kiki is and unfortunately going a bit wide, which is going to be disappointing there for Kiki. Into the pits. Let's go Kiki now, and I wonder if that's a bit of tyre wear going on there. Is now we got Neat Candice on the outside, not quite there, but Menace makes it through, and Van Von down into 4th position there. So Van Von then unfortunately got a 10-second penalty. It's going to be painful. 2 Mercedes have swapped positions as well, have they? As yes, they have. As the 2 Mercedes seem to be tied together at the moment, don't they? Goodness gracious me. Of course, the Alpines were tied together in Miami a week ago as well. Not tonight then as such, as Pease is in 12th position. But what a drive so far from Pease. Currently the early contender for driver of the day is going to half distance in this Grand Prix. Sorry, I've lost my comments there as I was trying to work out why my phone is not refreshing there, which is this damn contraption. Oh, dear me. Right then, so just on board with Neat Candice now, and of course, as he's going to have to follow Cam, sorry, not Cam, Kaz for the next for the next foreseeable corners. As you can see, that is going to be costly because look at how much time he's lost there. Immortal's now within a second. He's within DRS range now. Of course, that is this is going to be very important of where you catch the traffic. As Kaz coming out of the second to last turn here, as I've forgotten the corner name, shocking. As now we're going up to Neat Candice, there he is through. There he is, and he passes the Red Bull, and he's going for it in the Ferrari. Not quite them, there's a Ferrari there. I think was going to be, probably didn't want to look at his wing mirrors there, because I've got to say that the drivers are bearing down on him. And look at that, Kaz is struggling there. He's harvested. Immortal is through. That is crucial for Immortal's Grand Prix, and potentially for his championship charge as well for Immortal, as he is the main rival to Sam Swift Ninja, who at the moment is a 6.25 second advantage over the 2 Ferraris. Sweet Crown, then there's an 11-second gap between Sweet Crown and Menace. That's quite a big gap there. And then we'll soon find out. I think the Sunset Ninja is still once again showing that he's very good with the old touch of the throttle there, as he really keeping his tyres in pristine working order as we're half distance in this Grand Prix. Sunset Ninja, I think he's going to have to go an extra couple of laps here. Yes, his car will be lighter, which means less load on the tyres. But even so, I think the Sunset Ninja is going to have to extend extend the stint at least a couple more laps, you know. And I'm sure that he's not going to be as quick as these drivers on fresh tyres. But the only caveat to that is look at how hard these drivers are fighting each other. Menace has done 11 laps on those hard tyres now, but it's fighting tooth and nail. Here comes Nick Candish, he is through. Here comes Immortal, he is through as well. Can Immortal get two for the price of one there? Is he going to try and go through? Immortal are on board with that. No, he backs off it. And in the background, it's the McLaren. Oh my goodness me, there's contact in between the two cars. Flippy forcing his way through. Kaz down into 7th position. Flippy is up into 7th. There, I'll get him right one of these days there. Goodness me. Not only is English not much stronger, I keep knocking my microphone tonight. It's goodness me, it's because I've got a really sweaty nose for some reason. I don't know why. Goodness me. But anyway, Immortal's now into 4th position. Menace is now down into 5th. Brabant is 6th. Flippy 7th. Then we've got the medium tyres of Boxtel and Kaz Van Von, who both will be back in the pits. Lights is in 10th position there. Then P's in 11th there with Nameless in 12th position. Equals, Kiki, 13th and 14th, both on medium tyres. They're going to try and get to the end of the race there. Sam needs to pit now, says Serious Mushroom. Goodness me, is that too early, Mushroom, there? I thought it would have been too early, personally. But no, he listens to Serious Mushroom. That's why Mushroom's the master of strategies. Into the pits now comes the world champion. As now he's looking for those lime green overalls then in the Sauber team. Into the pits comes Sweet Crow as well. Mirroring Sam Swift Ninja. Into the pits, stopped on his marks. Medium tyres on then. He's go out and away he goes. Lee Candish leads. Chaz says no, he doesn't. He gets a 3-second penalty. Menace is through. No, it's Brabant is through, and I'm going to do 4th position. 5th position short. And where is Sam Swift? Look at that. That's a beautiful bit of track there. Sam Swift Ninja absolutely nailed it. Oh, lovely shot here. We didn't get a lot. We didn't get much of that, did we? Lights in 8th position. Pease has got past Sweet Crown, and Pease is now in 6th position. What a drive so far from Pease tonight. However, those penalties may be costing it. Box out into the pit side. He's going to have much fresher, harder tyres. Oof, my word. Now we've got an incredible battle. So let's take stock now with everyone pitting at least once then. So this is a golden opportunity with 12 laps to go in this incredible race. 19 laps on the medium tyre, says Goku. What do you reckon about that? 3-second penalty for Flippy. He was caught red-handed there, unfortunately, as we was looking down on him. Lee Candish leads. 2nd position is Immortal. 3rd is Brabant. 4th is Menace. And Flippy in 5th position. As Kaz has got another penalty there, unfortunately. There's a 3-second deficit between Van Von and Flippy there between 5th and 6th position. Sam Swift Ninja is closing hand over fist now over Van Von in 7th position there. Sam Swift Ninja is going to be quicker, but he's also going to need to do some overtaking if Sam Swift Ninja wants to get on the podium here. Has he left it? Has he given himself too much here? As Immortal leads the race, it's got in front of the Candice and Brabant is it's Menace who's lost out. And Menace done 14 laps on those hard tyres. That's going to be an almighty. That is going to be an almighty. Hang on, where am I? That's going to be an almighty. What am I saying? That's going to be an almighty asset to get those medium tyres to those hard tyres. The hard tyres, says Goku. 13 basic mass set, says Sirius Busham. So, gap to the leader, please, says Duke Den. And there is the gap to the leader right now. Sounds like it's only 8 seconds back. I thought the gap would have been bigger than that. Then it probably was in the 10 seconds. But now he's already down to 8 seconds as Sam Swift Ninja. But we're going to take a look at this battle up here. We'll have a look at the penalties as well then with just 12 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Look at all the harvesting going on. You can tell that the harvesting's going on because the rain lights are flashing. There's no rain in the sky here in Emilia Romagna. Here in Imola. It's a beautiful day in this part of Italy. Fantastic indeed. That I am expecting rain though, either in gold, either in silver, mainly because Far's around, or definitely in bronze as well, because we normally get a bit of rain in this part of the world. Sadly, we had a lot of rain in this part of the world in 2024. I think was it when the race was cancelled. Shocking stuff. Swift Ninja set the pass off the race there as Neat Candice takes the lead, or it's on board with Brabant there. There's a great viewpoint now from Brabant. Just keeping an eye and seeing what's going on. There's Flippy. There's a Ferrari of Menace in the background. He's already lost 2 seconds. Menace is out of DRS, and he's going to be looking in his mirrors and seeing a Dayglow green kick Sauber in a minute. So Menace is now probably out of this fight for the Grand Prix win there. But Menace has came in the pits earlier on, though, so that he can come in the pits. There is Sam Swift Ninja in the background. Good gracious me, he's taken out another second and a bit then. Boxtel's got past Legends and up in the 14th position. My word there, Sam Swift Ninja is gaining hand over fist and he is flying out there when he's doing qualifying laps on those medium tyres. My God gracious me. I haven't said that. Menace just feels like he's closer than what he was before. So I wonder if Menace is just charging up his battery then, getting a bit more battery into that hybrid unit there now, ready to deploy it for another attack on Flippy. He also needs to remember that Flippy has a 3-second penalty, so he needs to stay within 3 seconds of Flippy, and he could get himself back up to 4th position, maybe 5th though, because you'll see something. Oh my gosh, he's almost in the facility. He was certainly in that camera shot, as we just had a long camera shot. Menace in the pits, he's not going to go to the end of the race. Yellow flag out there for one of the Haas cars, and who's that? That's Morris having issues there, and the Haas is just not it's just not compliant, is it, for Morris this season? Goodness gracious me. Position changes, says ALR Esports. Cam has got a 3-second penalty by the looks of it. Nameless is now into 9th position. I don't think Nameless has got any points so far this season. Equals has got a 10-second penalty. He's only done 8 laps on those medium tyres there. Goodness gracious me. Ulrich, driving with a controller. Maybe, I must admit, I don't know the driver's equipment, to be honest, all that kind of stuff, but I think that Serious Russia knows all the driver's equipment. I think the Brabant is on the controller, isn't he? On board now with Immortal then. As you can see, Sam Swift Ninja's got the gap down to 5.6 seconds. We'll have a look at the positions in just a jiffy. Actually, let's do them now whilst I'm having a look there. So P's at 13 positions there. Of course, P's has been incredible on this opening series of in the opening couple of laps. Very similar to Lewis Hamilton earlier on saying the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic indeed. Immortal will do 22 laps on the hard tyres. On board now with Immortal. Then of course, as we just talked about, yellow flags. What's happened? And through goes. There's a problem with one of the second kick Saubers. I think it's Legends is having issues there. Immortal takes the lead. What's happened there? So just watching. I've been not sure actually. It might have been Cam. It's Cam who's crawling, and Lights is trying to get past as well. Lights is through, and what's going on here? This looks a bit some shenanigans are going on between the two drivers there. I'm not sure. I thought it was the kick Sauber of Legends having issues there, but goodness gracious me, they're not looking good there at the back there. Back at the front now. Gap is down to under 5 seconds now. Everyone is going to the end now, says OJM then. As just under 8 laps to go. On board now for Immortal. Where is Sam Swift Ninja? Morris has got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately, for the Haas driver. Having a miserable time out there is Morris down in 18th position, sadly. Right then, so we're just going to take a look there. The penalty situation at the moment. Just take a look at we're going back to the intervals for the minute. Whoa, flipping there! A bit of oversteer there on the exit of it's Aqua Minerale, I think it is, isn't it? The corner names have come back to me slowly. Goodness gracious me, that's the problem there. I cannot disconnect myself when I watch a different sport. But I was in football mode. Here comes Morton coming to the line. Lap 25 out of 32. Sam Swift Ninja's got a lot of overtaking to do still, but can he do it? He's on the medium tyres. The question is, can they hang on? Menace is now past Nameless, and Nick Candish has got back through and takes the lead, gets ahead of Immortal, who's been on a roll in the last couple of races. Fantastic 17, which reminds me, I really fancy a Swiss roll. Or was it mini rolls now, isn't it? I like the one with the jam in the middle. Penalties and Flippy 3 seconds. 3 seconds for Sweet Crown. 3 seconds for Peas. 3 seconds from Chazza, that could cost him. Kiki, no, not Kiki. Legends 3 seconds. Van Von there 3 seconds. He also had to serve his 10-second penalty. Both Red Bull drivers getting penalties here tonight. Then. So wonder what's gone on with that. Is that a link or is that just coincidence? The two Red Bulls there. Cam now through, passes Legends. Then we've got Cam. Sorry, not Kaz is through, not Cam. I need to go back to Van Von. Van Von is through, having the 30 position there. Then we have got Equals on 10-second penalties, 3-second penalty for Cam at the moment. There's the tyre situation at the moment of Van Von and the rest of the crew out there. Sam Swift Ninja has he stalled a bit. It's down to 2.2 seconds there, but I thought he would have on the case of the drivers now. But you can see the lead from here. Lights is up in 15th position. He can see the lead. There they are. There's his target. And under 2 seconds now is Sam Swift Ninja on board. Kiki's got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately. Sam Swift Ninja can see his targets. There they are. There's the battle for the lead. of the Grand Prix. Sam Swift Ninja has not won a race in 3 races, and the last race he won was back at round 2 in the Japanese Grand Prix. So far, we've only had 2 Grand Prix winners so far this season. 2 wins for this man here, 3 wins there for Immortal there. It's going to be a classic season, I hope that it certainly has been so far. When I say the Sam Swift Ninja stalled, well, he hasn't now, has he? He's got the gap right down to almost under a second and a half there. We've got, I thought that was Brabant Ghost, and it was his teammate. My goodness gracious me then, as now going over the brow then, coming up the hill. Look at this, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 cars, I should say, in the facility. Well, we do have 6, because Morris is trying to unlap himself there. Lights is now in the 30th position. Has Lights gone outside chance of points? I think he has, but 2-stop strategy was, I don't think the correct way to go on this circuit personally, but of course, that's just me sitting on my poof. Out with not much evidence going there, apart from the fact that the drivers have done 2 stops, not really. Having said that, I think Menace has done a pretty decent job. He came in early, Menace, and now he's cut, and then he got rid of those hard tyres. Now he's got medium tyres in the Grand Prix. Could elevate himself up to 6th, up into 7th position, maybe even get himself up into 6th with no penalty or then. So I think the Menace has actually done a great job out there tonight. With Knowles has got a 3-second penalty as well, shameful. But as we're on board, says the guy that got 42 seconds of penalty in Qatar 1 year. But of course, that is history. Driver of the day voters out then, so get your votes coming in. I must say that it's a difficult one, because I would say that Pease has definitely been superb as he come through the field, but he did have a shocking qualifying. In that facility again. What am I saying? Am I meant to be saying facility or sounds? I don't know. Maybe I should stop using big words potentially. Maybe I should just. I'll keep my words to like those ones that are like 4 or 5 letters long. On board now, Samsung Ninja. He's caught up to the back then on lap 27 out of 32 here. So now here comes Samsung Ninja now. I think that Flippy's already got a penalty, but Samsung Ninja needs to get past still, because look at the sparks. They're incredible stuff about how low they run these cars to the ground. And of course, this is the ground effect era, which will be the last time actually. 2025 will be the last time we have ground effects. Apparently they're banning the Venturi tunnels, aren't they, for next season? Which I must admit, I thought that the ground effect would actually increase overtaking, but it doesn't seem to have been the case, especially in the latter half of of these rule changes. Then, but next season is going to be very interesting with the electrical deployments and all that kind of stuff there. So very interesting stuff indeed there. Of course, that is not next season for ALR. That's the season after. So now Samsung Ninja, we've got 5 laps to go, including the lap that we're on here, as the sun is starting to be covered by a bit of grey sky out there. So maybe we might have a late later rain shower potentially, but having said that, I doubt we're going to go into the facility. Yellow flag, what's happened? We've also got Lights who's got through, passes Van Von, as now Legends start to Knowles there, blasts his way through and up into 14th position there. That's Knowles back at the front. Knee Candish, Immortal, followed by Brabant, then followed by Flippy, followed by Ninja as well. That is the top 5, and the top 5, anyone in the top 5 can win this race today, albeit Flippy is going to need a bit of fortune, because there's yellow flags again for one of the Mercedes. I think it is. Something's happened down at Tosa, unfortunately. But of course, no safety cars, as I very confidently predicted in qualifying. 29 out of 32. Sam Swift Ninja is coming. He's coming, but he hasn't got the straight line speed. He may have a go though, go down to one. Goodness me, I am surprised by that. I thought he was going to similar to Hamilton and George Russell, but look at that. He's going to go on the outside, but he swamps to the inside, going for the old switcheroo up the inside. Magnificent, has he? Into the field of chicane. No, Flippy keeps himself in front there. My word. Menace up into 7th position now. Great defending from Flippy, but Samsung Ninja would open to get by. Use the tractor, those new tyres. They've done 9 laps. The medium tyres have them, but if they finish though for Samsung Ninja, has he pushed them too hard? Then Van Von has got a 3-second penalty. Nick Anderson, has he ever won a Grand Prix in gold? Is what I'm hearing. It was what I should be asking myself. Then let me get up the old Bible here. No, he hasn't. Then Nick Anderson's best result was 2nd position. On board now with for Sam Swift Ninja. The knee condition Immortal is going to be very much about playing a bit of chicken, I think, with the old DRS and like after you, sir, similar to Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021 and Charles Leclerc and Verstappen in Saudi Arabia in 2022. This looks a bit more promising now for the triple world champion out of the final turn, and look at that, he's very much in the slipstream. That McLaren, but look at that McLaren, he just punches a hole and pulls away here. Incredible something. Let's get the telemetry up. Look at the battery, it's been depleted on the world champion down into Tamburello. My goodness me, and Flippy's got a lot of battery there. Goodness gracious me. Oh, but once again, then Flippy getting a bit out of shape there, but he's not going to let Sam Swift Ninja through here. Sam Swift Ninja trying to go up and under into the Vale chicane. He's going to go on the inside to Tozer. No, he's going to go on the outside. Is Flippy going to let him through on the outside? Then Flippy then gives it just about this contact. As Sam Swift Ninja just couldn't get the power down, could he? As Flippy there is not letting Sam Swift Ninja through here. Sam Swift Ninja is the race that I thought that was potentially going to win it there earlier on. Then he was dominating. But what's the heart of the medium tyres to start the race on? Is that a costly error there for the world champion? He's all over the back of Flippy again. Then Flippy, we're back on board with Sam Swift Ninja now. Then he's doing a bit of Horace then the top of the hill, then going hop and skipping a jump, then now back on board. And now then can he have a run then down into the Is it I've forgotten what the corner names are. I need to get old Wikipedia up, I think. And he can't do that. 4/10 of a second at lap 31, then out of 32. And who's Mars in the pits then. Now then, Flippy is a second out. He does have DRS, which is going to absolutely irk Sam Swift Ninja. The lead has been changed. The Moto retakes the lead in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Just 2 laps to go. Sam Swift Ninja still hasn't got past the McLaren. We got soft tyres on there for the Keychains, Cam and Equals. And Morris might also be thrown on the soft tyres as well as he wants to go for fastest lap. My goodness gracious me. Second to last lap there. We've got 2 more tours of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here in Emilia. What an incredible race there. 5 cars are fighting for the Grand Prix win here. But 4 of the 5 cars do not have penalties. So Flippy does have a penalty, sadly, which may be costly here. As Lights has got past Nameless. We've also got a lot of to and fro. Here's Chazza and Knowles. Knowles is caught to the back of Chazza. And Chazza there maybe on the same issue that Flippy's have, the Sam Swift Ninjas have it now. So those medium tyres might be past their sell-by date here. Oh my goodness gracious me! There, look at that Flippy looking in his wing mirrors, seeing where the world champion Sam Swift Ninja is. As Van Bon, Cam has got a 3-second penalty. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Goodness me, Sam now really hassling that McLaren out of the final turn, and then he's got to get past me on the final lap. Then this Grand Prix. I don't know where to look. Let's look at the front man. Here he Immortal. Oh goodness me, that's another red. I was like, why is the ball so far in front there? No position changes there as we go into the Tamburello chicane. Immortal lead. Second is Knee Candice. With third position is Brabham then as we're on the final lap of this absolutely epic Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Out to the field of chicane now. As Immortal done enough then. There's no more DRS then. He's got a defend then going down into the Tamburello chicane. Yellow flag then. It's one of the Williamses, I think, is crawling there. I know, sorry, it's one of the Haas's that are crawling, unfortunately. Immortal down at the top of the hill. Then Flippy is out of DRS range now. Then Flippy, unfortunately, has got a 3-second penalty. But Sam Swift Ninja is going to be off the podium again then as it stands at the moment there. As long as there's no 3-second penalties out for the front three. My goodness gracious me. Sam Swift Ninja is going to be frustrated with this there, isn't he? I'm wondering then, track position might be king around here then. I'm wondering if the heart of the medium tyre strategy just did not work out. But here is Immortal. I must admit, I thought that Immortal was struggling today with terms of pace, but goodness gracious me, his hardest race win of the season potentially. Immortal on the final turn, and it is his 8th win of his season. He wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Wow, what an incredible race. And Immortal extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship as well. Probably his hardest race win of the season so far. It is his 4th Grand Prix win of the season there. His 8th win of his career in his 97th Grand Prix start. And Immortal extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship. What a mega race that was. Ores are then saying Mortar. Absolutely. What a drive indeed then. Nick Candish in second position. Brabbit third. Soundsworth Ninja in fourth with Flippy. Menace, Sweet Crown, Peas. Great drive in eighth position with Box Talent. Lights complete in the top 10. Nameless frustratingly in 11th position. Once again, Nolte, great drive to 12th with Legend in 13th. Chaz in 14th. Van Von Horror Show in 15th with Kiki 16th. Cam in 17th. Not a happy 50th Grand Prix start for Cam. Equals down in 18th position there. Morris unfortunately out of the race, and a horror show for Morris and for Troy as well. Only 2 retirements in this Grand Prix. Driver of the day, P is 54% of the vote there. I absolutely do not disagree with that whatsoever. Van Von getting the fastest lap point of the race. Whoa. Well, I think we're going to have to take our breath, and so of course in about 24 hours to 12 hours time, goodness me, we'll be racing at 8 o'clock in the morning. In 24 hours time, we've got to take a breath because Silver is tomorrow night then as well. But of course, we're going to talk about tomorrow night and the rest of the week's proceeding in just a jiffy then. Let's take a final look at the classification. Of course, race winner Immortal. Fast, that was Van Bod. P's driver of the day, most overtakes and clean. P's most overtakes and driver of the day, and Nick Candice was the cleanest driver. The final classification that is this. Immortal from pole position to checkered flag then, but of course it wasn't that simple. Nick Candice in second today, then great drive from Nick Candice showing really on a good run of form and his best form in a Grand Prix racing so far. Brabbit on the third position on the podium for the second time this season. He had pole position in Japan. He's got podium in Japan. He's got a podium here today. Sounds from Ninja in fourth today. Fifth is Flippy with sixth Menace. A great drive from Menace. Seventh is Sweet Crown with Peas. Great drive. Driver of the day in eighth position. Moth Mercedes at ninth and tenth. And 11th position is Nameless with 12th is Knowlesy. Legend in 13th. Chaz in 14th. Van Von fast up in 15th for Kiki, Cam, and Equal 67th and 18th. Morris and Troy. 2 retirements there from the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in what has been an absolutely fantastic Grand Prix today as well. Brilliant stuff indeed here tonight. And of course, we're going to be talking to the drivers who are second and third in this race. And let's come to Nick Anderson, who would want to drive to second position today. And goodness me, you're on a really good run of form at the moment there. But do you feel that win was taken away from you today?
No, actually, I was happy with P2. Like again, same story with all the race weeks. I'm not good in quali, and because of that, I had to sacrifice my second seat tire for track position. So at the end, I knew like AC Immortal is much faster than me. I was just keeping him behind for the last lap. So in the last lap, when he passed me, I can use his DRS to just keep the position. So at the end of the day, I'm so happy with P2. I think that was the most I could get from the race.
That's very honest of you. Do you? Is there anything you can maybe improve in qualifying? I know it's very easy for us to say maybe I need to do this, that, and the other. Day. Do you have any? Do you have anything that you feel that I need to work on? Maybe the preparation of the qualifying lap, or is it potentially the timing of the qualifying lap? What do you think is your weakness in qualifying?
Actually, I'm working on it, but I think like mostly it's gonna come with the experience because it's just a momentum. It's not the plan or strategy or setup thing related. It's just a momentum. I lose the momentum in the last laps of the qualifying, and I think that was most important. Even like before last lap in qualifying, I was in the first or pole position, but in the last lap I couldn't gain that two tenths of the second that I needed for that one. I think like I'm trying on it. I'm just practicing more for qualities, but I think it's gonna come by time and experience.
Let's go move on though to what has been an absolutely superb last 3 races. Then, of course, second, third, and second again today. I must say the form you're on at the moment, you're really elevating the Alpine team. Both you and Peas have been fantastic in that pink machine. But I gotta say, I feel that I hope I'm not giving you the commentators curse here, but I feel that you're the most likeliest driver to get a Grand Prix win this season. Then, of course, we did talk about the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix last week there, and I don't think you was feeling too confident about the race last week. But what about Spain next week? There, of course, that potentially is your next chance to win a Grand Prix.
I think Spain is much better than here. At least like I feel like it because the turns there it's not so risky. You don't have the risk of invalidation in the lap. So maybe in qualifying I can be stronger, and even in the lap I was always comfortable with Spain. So my feeling for Spain is much better than this one Imola because in Imola I was never good at it. This time I think was an exception for me. It was the first time, but in Spain my feeling totally is much better than here. I hope I can do something. But if you see my performance in quali was good, just I'm a threat for the win. But uh, until like I was in P5, P4 in qualis, I think I cannot challenge for the win that much.
And that's very interesting, that is, isn't it? Goodness me, even being so high up on the grid, then it just shows how difficult this is to win a Grand Prix. Then, of course, the gap from first to 18th today was 1.4 seconds. That's what how important qualifying is there. And another important fact was the tires as well. Of course, we was talking about the tire strategy in the comments throughout the Grand Prix today. Do you feel that was the tyres a limiting factor today? Was you concerned or having to babysit the tyres towards the end of the race?
Actually, I was so happy with my tire management in the practices, so I just risked it and did it the earlier. I think I was the earliest driver to go for a scene two. I just risked it all. I didn't even check the drivers that gonna come in front of me. But in case of tire management, I was so comfortable with. And even if you like you saw, my tire management was good. All the cars behind me had a better tire than me, but they couldn't challenge me that bad. So I think with tire management, I was so happy with.
And in the last three, four races, you're the second highest driver that has been scoring points, and the only driver that has scored more than you is Immortal, who scored a four Grand Prix win in a row now. Do you class yourself as Immortal's closest championship rival now? Because you finished second and third, and second again today. That kind of form, surely you be thinking about a championship challenge. Maybe just get a win, and then after you got that win, you could certainly be a major problem for Immortal. Is that what you're aiming for?
Of course, like being in P2, P3 constantly is so good, but till now, Immortal is winning all of them. So I think it's not gaining anything to him, but maybe like I'm just waiting for the momentums, maybe like a DNF or stuff. I just want to be a constant and get points every race and wait for other drivers to like make mistakes and stuff.
Really well done today. What a drive to second position again, and you're in a rich run of form. Fantastic stuff indeed. Really well done. And then let's come to Brabbit, then, who's back on the podium for the first time since Japan. And it's been a couple of really difficult races, but goodness gracious me, you've come back with absolute incredible pace here today. Then, what was your secret in Imola today?
Wow. First of all, thank you for the kind words. Really good race, really tough race, like zero mistakes were allowed. I was always nearly on the limit to somehow stay into the DRS train, um, and hoped that I could save a little bit some tires to the end to maybe get an attack to P2 or P1. But yeah, the guys in front like MHE and Immortal, they were so quick. They did zero mistake. I think I don't know who was driver of the day, but I hope it is MHE because he had a undercut with older tires and managed it to stay in the top pack with a good pace. So congrats to him. And I'm really happy with the result. A podium in ALR, especially in gold, is really really nice, and I'm really happy to be here.
Goodness gracious me, you need to do some analysts on my side because I don't think anyone in the comments or me myself mentioned that in the stream. So I apologise. I mentioned it's shocking stuff indeed. But then of course, what Bella of course said after. How difficult was it to come through the field then after you pitted? Because the grid was so close then that you was put in the middle of the pack after you pitted on your fresh harder tires. How concerned or difficult was it to get through to get through that pack and not damage yourself and keep yourself in the fight for the first for the win?
To be honest, I think I was quite lucky with the traffic. I think Immortal had some more problems, and when I catched up to the traffic, I was always in a great and a good position. I had loads of ERS and had I think only clean overtakes, so I was a little bit lucky with the traffic, and therefore I was hoping I was saving some tires till the end to make an attack. But in the end, I was looking a little bit backwards because Sam was closing, and also some credits to Flippy to hold Sam back. It was helping me to concentrate to the front. So Flippy also has some part of my podium today. So thanks, Flippy. And yeah, strategy was fine. The hearts were fine. In the end, I was struggling for pace, but it was enough to follow the top two and to stay on the podium.
I'm talking to two drivers who I feel that is probably that are going to be our newest Grand Prix winners, and I do feel that it's going to be sometime this season. Of course, we asked MHD what the potential where he lost the race, and he mentioned qualifying. Where do you feel that you could have potentially gained second position or the Grand Prix win today? Was it potentially doing an undercut? Was it extending your stint? Was it starting on the hard tires? Where do you think you could have won this race today, or was it a bit too much of a stretch?
It's really hard to say. I just saw my point of view, so I don't really exactly know when MHD was pitting. Maybe pitting a lap earlier. I don't know. Then I have catch earlier up to the traffic. So I think it was the maximum today. Like I just was missing 1 or 2 tenths of performance, like in quali. I am really proud of my quali performance today. Like P3 with only 1 tenth behind Immortal. It's insane. It's insane. So I'm really happy with that. And I I don't know how to close the gap to the front. So for the moment, I'm really happy.
And we've got Spain next week. Then, how are you feeling for Spain next week? Another podium? Maybe your first Grand Prix win?
Okay, you raised the bar really high now, so I will try my best. Normally I like Spain, but we will have to see where there can be a topic, and yeah, I will have to see.
Really good stuff today, though. Well done, Brabbit, on a great podium as well. Your second podium of the season, and a great return to form as well, then, for Brabbit, and who elevates himself up the championship order. Fantastic stuff from Brabbit and for MHD, and of course, there for Immortal, who has a 4 race winning streak. Now, goodness gracious me, he's got a monopoly at the top of the championship. Tomorrow night, though, it is not so cut and dry. Duke leads the championship by a very minor, for a very little 4 points from Marky in second position. Mayran is in third position, 21 points adrift at the moment. Then it is very close indeed. Nigel is starting to be cut adrift in fourth position, and Kiki then a further 5 points back. Then bronze is going to be fantastic. Also in silver's going to be fantastic in bronze as well. Then Dynamite Dan's got a good advantage now over Smithy Almighty of about 19 points there, but Smithy Almighty really showed some form last time out in Miami. Rosa Sky, though, of course, having a bit of a difficult race in Miami, hoping to bounce back there, but the gap is now 22 points set, and of course, Reflection, also within a Grand Prix winner of Dynamo Dan as well, is very close in bronze. And we'll see you tomorrow night for silver. Goodbye.